brought out that life is really fleeting, and to ask ourselves, what are we doing with this moment that we're given? Rather than overthinking that, actually just creating and doing, trying to live our best life while we're here.
The concept of the mask project itself came from a conversation we had with someone who was visiting from the National Endowment of the Arts. She was telling us about a therapeutic exercise that some military doctors did for PTSD soldiers. And we figured, given the experience we just had, this might be an interesting exercise to do locally.
Yeah, and we did a little research about mask making as a project for art therapy. But then we got to thinking, wait a minute, we have a history and a culture of mask making traditions here in the Virgin Islands and throughout the Caribbean region. And so how can we bring those two things? How can we create a hybrid of an art therapy project post-hurricane and also a project that highlights our own history in the Virgin Islands? I really love working with you guys. I don't know if we have many more of those spots.
How can we have an art project if there's people that don't have a roof over their head? To me, that's exactly why you need those, because you need to have a balance. You can't always focus on what's going wrong and what you have to fix. Sometimes you have to sit back and say, okay, let me remember who I am. Let me remember where I'm from. Let me remember that I am creative and that I'm a person outside of this disaster. Having the cultural and arts as part of disaster recovery is so important.
This is our recovery. We are recovering from those hurricanes, and we ought to be happy.
Working with the St. John's School of the Arts and incorporating the mask project into our festival arts.
That has to be fun, the parade. Yeah.
Super fun. Having the mask camp in this space, once all the masks were up.
Full of kids.
Full of kids.
Supplies.
And then we were all getting dressed together and then, putting our mask on and being a part of the festival parade, despite the fact that we have been so devastated by the hurricanes.
So many of the masks, I walk through the exhibit and I have to stop and let them communicate with me and see, what are people saying about their post-storm experience, or what are they communicating through this process of either making masks via the molds that we gave, or using organic materials, or using some of the screen mesh masks. Some people came, it seemed, with these very detailed plans of what they were going to make. Some people just happened kind of organically.
This is like the armor that we had to put on. Everybody had to be strong, and then the other layer is the soft layer that we're protecting ourselves,
So I would say on a personal level, one of the masks that I personally identify with would be this one here. Just because on one side it has the tears falling down the face, which was definitely the biggest emotion that I experienced the day after the storm, was just grief and shock. But then on the other side, there are no tears. So it's been this kind of mix of, sadness that this terrible thing happened, but also joy at seeing how our community came together and seeing the recovery process. So there's definitely both emotions involved, and so this definitely kind of strongly, I connect to it.
Like, what happens after the hurricane is everybody's so busy and they're stressed out and they're trying to get their life together. And how many times since then, do we just get to a place that wasn't like an official meeting where what could we do to make it better, to get it back to where it was? This was like, man, here we are, we're back together. Everybody's been through a lot. We have all these supplies. Let's just have fun, talk, and see where it goes. Now, there's no names here, but everybody's put some passion into the work. Somebody's soul, somebody's heart, and somebody's feelings. I don't ever remember having a community project like this.
The bed gives it another dimension.
I'm very overwhelmed with the pieces individually and collectively. From a policy perspective, this project demonstrates the power of art in a community and community involvement. And who would think that a mask making would be such a powerful expression of the recovery and expressions of a community from those experiences.
It's been challenging to coordinate.
To be commended for this. I mean, like I said, it exceeds my expectation, but also the therapy for the community as a whole, because there's no one that's alike. Each one has their own personality and their energy and their statement. So it's pretty powerful. In fact, it's pretty heavy.
Two things have come out of the project. One, the need to support the arts community post-hurricane, so we're establishing emergency funds for the arts community in the Virgin Islands, but also the continued need of using the arts for art therapy.
Exactly. You know what this is?
I don't know. Coral.
Corals. I think it's something really great that the kids could incorporate at Sprout School with the arts, and something that they can maybe do once a week to create something that they can call their own and that they can take back and show all the other kids so more people will want to do it.
This was an awesome idea. Very good way to get the community involved and just relax them from the stress that's going on. To be able to find creativity within it is a form of finding peace. So I'm very grateful for them coming up with the idea.
One of my greater takeaways, just seeing, again, going back to this idea of the community response to a community art project. And we've talked about community art projects and what that could look like. And we always, dress back a little bit because it's not something that's practiced so often in this context. So we always worry about how people would respond. So I have hope now, after doing this exercise, that we could do just about anything.
La esponjita con el cono está bien brutal. Está bello. Me encanta. Gracias por compartir con nosotras. Está bello.